Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Day night when we did the Ritmatech World Challenge here, and we're back here tonight for rounds 55, 56 and 57 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. 3 20-minute races around the 3.5 kilometer circuits here in Lexington, Ohio, and the championship is finally poised heading into this one as the summer continues. Joining me in the commentary box for this one, it's alongside me, Adam Bath, it's Andrew Woodhouse. And Woody, we're here at Mid-Ohio again, and looking forward to this one. 3 races around a track that's going to be difficult to overtake, so these guys are going to have to get their elbows out just how we like.
Yeah, good evening, Adam. Good evening, everybody. And yeah, I think they will. We saw it in the MX-5s the other night, but we also saw that even in those cars, the drivers were having to get a little bit feisty, so we'll see what happens in the Kia. It's a little bit faster, a little bit harder to overtake.
Running through the championship standings as the qualifying comes to an end, you can see the timing tower on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see Sven Glatzel and Wojciech Savidovic currently on the front row, but it's Stephen Baxter, who sits in third in the qualifying, that leads the championship. He has a 189-point lead over Nicole Foggy, his Northern Lights Racing GT Omega teammate. Then it's 2 CQR cars, Dave Baker and former Club Series champion Pete Harrod. Ahead of Savidovic in 5th. He's had so many issues this year. I'm trying to think of a driver to liken it to. I think it was Sebastian Buemi the first season of Formula E. He was so quick, but had so many issues during the season that he hasn't been able to get up the championship order. He sits in 5th. Then it's Ross McFarlane, Jamie Rushworth, Kip Stevens in 8th, highest of the AMs, and then Mark Woodhouse and Jack Sedgwick. The grid starting to form. It is a very, very short front straight here, so you can expect to see loads of cars forming up in that carousel, the final part of the circuit. It's Glatzel on pole, Savidovic second, just 12 thousandths of a second between them. It's Steve Baxter third, Ross McFarlane doing a fantastic job up in 4th place. Nicole Foggy in 5th, making it Scotsman's 4th and 5th. Then Jack Sedgwick in 6th, Colin Cunniff 7th, Dave Baker 8th, Michael Hall in 9th, and Alex Simpson, good qualifying from Alex, up in 10th. Dan Brown, highest of the AMs, in 11th, then Adam Hadfield in 12th. Then moving on further back, we have got Jack McIntyre 13th, 14th Nathan Davis, the Welshman, 15th Jamie Rushworth, 16th Pete Harrod, 17th Diogo Melro racing again today, and then Chris Wood in 18th, George Simmons 19th, and Jake Blackhall, the Australian, rounding out the top 20. Move on further back, you can see the likes of Laidler there in 21st, Brian Holmes 23rd, Mark Woodhouse also there in 24th. One of the highest AM drivers in the championship standings, Kip Stevens, his title rival in that championship, there in 26th, and Rob Graham there in 28th in the Automech Knock Hill car. And then moving on towards the back of the field, you can see the likes of Maciek Sakovic down there in 33rd. Pete Newman will be hoping for a good roll of the dice in the reverse grid later on. He's starting in 36th. And starting towards the rear of the field, we've got Christian Rose, Jim McFadden, and Ash Sutton. A trio of CQR cars who'll be hoping for an exciting race. Here we go then. We're underway for the first race of the day. Good start by Baxter. He's already got ahead of Savidovic. Well, at least that's what it says on the live timing as we go into the first corner. And indeed he is. It is a Northern Lights Racing GT Omega 1-2 as we go through the first corner. Savidovic slots into that 3rd position. Then it's the 2 Northern Lights Racing GT Omega cars. Running the same livery, it looks like, as we go up towards the keyhole for the first time, one of the main overtaking points on the circuit. And it's Savidovic trying to get the move done around the outside of the hairpin here as we go onto the back straight, and slipstreaming starts to begin as the cars all start to fan out and pick up speed. As you can see there, that's Diogo Melro in the mix as well. That is the Team Mad car with the bright pink uprights as we come down the back straight for the first time. There's a Simmortal car in there as well. Here is Savidovic in 3rd. And you can see the 2 GT Omega cars right behind as well of Foggy and McFarlane. Watch out for Colin Cunniff as well as we go up towards the top of the hill. You can see a few cars sometimes going up the inside here. Good start from Jack Sedgwick as well. He's up a position, but Colin Cunniff has something to say about that. And they continue their battle now as we go through the roller coaster section and towards Thunder Valley. Andrew Woodhouse, are you in the session?
I've been in the session all along.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, good start. Entertaining start.
Hello, though, yes. No, that's fine. Savidovic was sliding the car through the hairpin, wasn't he? It really looked exciting as he was trying to get that under control of cold tyres. It's excellent. Everybody else seems to be through. Okay, looks like Pete Newman might have had a pit lane start because he's quite a way behind.
Yeah, coming for the final corner now to complete the The opening lap there is Pete Newman. You are right, he is some way behind. And I was just coming through the carousel section now to complete the opening lap. But it's Sven Glatzel that leads, Steve Baxter second, 1-2 for the GT Omega team. Nicole Foggy and Ross McFarlane fourth and fifth with Savidovic sandwiched in between a whole load of Northern Lights racing cars in the top 5. Quite a good race for them. And just looking at the championship standings going into this one in the teams category, this will be great for Northern Lights Racing GT Omega to close the gap on CQR. There's a 1200 point gap between them this time.
Yeah, well, they need good results, and Glatzel and Baxter, they could well provide one here. Very good pace in the early going. One thing that struck me about the qualifying session, Adam, was just how close everybody was. Down the top 10 was separated by just 3/10.
It is one of those tracks where I think we're going to see the top 30 separated by something crazy like 20 seconds when it comes to the end of it.
It's still only 12 seconds between. Sorry, it's still only 13 seconds between first and 38. So I think you'll get your wish.
There you go. Yeah, I think starters we've been to go on here. This is how close everything is, and I think with race 1 here we're going to see not too many drivers gaining too many places, apart unless he names Ash Sutton and he's already gained 13. Just because these are the quickest guys right to the very front. I had no idea even. And there he is.
How do you even do that around here? In this car, I don't know. And we saw the MX-5, we saw some people gaining a lot of spots, but I guess though he is very, very out of position on the grid, so it will. I suppose if anybody's going to gain places, it's going to be him. Stuart McFadden's already up 5 places as well. George Simmons has gained 3, and also looking at the rear of the field, Christian Rose actually is last but one. In fact, the one is Pete Newman. I think Newman's had an accident as well, or a spin or something.
Yeah, we did speculate whether he had a pit lane start or not. He did start at the rear of the field for this one.
Has he had a crash? He looks like he's got some damage. I think he's had a crash, Pete Newman. That thing looks all over the place. He's not on the controller again, is he?
Yeah, he is like. Yeah, I don't know whether he's just having a bit of fun there or not, just sliding from left.
It looks
to right.
like he can't. Yeah, that's a controller.
He's
not a controller. He's not in hospital again, is he?
That is a controller, isn't it? Because he had literally full lock as he went through that right-hander.
No wonder he's so slow then. That does make sense. Let's not watch that any longer. We don't know our eyes.
And as a person
Thanks, Sam.
that knows the pains of racing with a controller.
Yeah, man. The struggle is real. Must admit.
Has brought up to one. I
think Gregory used to do it though, didn't he? In this championship, didn't he win an AM championship in the controller?
He won an AM championship with a controller. Yeah, there's a rare breed of people that are able to somehow muster racing with a controller. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Here comes Nicole Foggy. He's trying to take control of a spot on the podium here as he comes round the keyhole. Savidovic gives them some space on the outside, but he's not able to get alongside. I wish a few people in the F1 2017 multiplayers that I was doing earlier gave me that much space as we went down, go down the back straight over what is the start line in the IndyCar series, just because the front straight's so narrow. And Foggy's not giving up here. He's trying to get past the reigning champion.
Grips at a premium out there though. I was going to struggle. It was much easier in the MX-5 to go around the outside than it is in the Kia Optima. We will see that at times tonight though. Check on our colleague Alex Simpson. He's in 10th place. He's just stayed where he started really. Michael Hall going off the circuit though, and actually Simpson just got through into 9th. So Michael Hall's dropping down. In fact, he might lose out to Hadfield as well. It's going to be close, but I think he's still going to stay just in front of the Sim Auto car.
Yeah, you may have noticed on the timing tower on the left-hand side that his name was in red for a long time, which signifies that he was off the circuit. And is now 2 wide, 2 deep here. Oh, and a bit of a nudge as well by Hadfield as he forces his way through, coming through the final corner.
By the way, just in front of these two, Nathan Davies has had a very good start. He's up 4 places. So you can hear something kicking off in the background, somebody sliding massively. And there's a bit of a field spread now. You can see that big gap between Chris Wood in 18th and Jake Blackhall in 19th. That's 3.5 seconds.
Joe Rushworth doing well there in 13th. He won a race a few weeks ago. As we go down the back straight, you can see there on the track map the field spread. Savidovic and Foggy could be at it again. I just saw that those two were we're swapping places on the timing screen as we look at the
They're
open
only,
arrow.
yeah, sorry, they were only 1/10 apart.
Yeah. So
Now, in fact, it's even closer to Baxter now.
Yeah, that's what's happened. I was going to say, the Glatzels use the opportunity to break away a little bit as we edge towards the halfway point of this race, but it's now Savidovic applying the pressure on Baxter as we go up towards the carousel.
Let's see then. Oh, he looks up there, Baxter. And there goes Wojciech Savidovic up in second place. Nico Foggy in fourth, Ross McFarlane in fifth, sixth is Jack Sedgwick, and then Colin Cunniff, then Dave Baker, Simpson and Davies.
There was only 12 thousandths of a second between Savidovic and Glatzel in qualifying earlier. I wonder if there's going to be too much to separate them this time. Savidovic first lap in clear air now that he's got past the Northern Lights Racing GT Omega, and now this is Foggy's opportunity going into the hairpin.
Indeed it is. They will go side by side through there. Baxter going the long way around. He might get a decent run out of there, and he might challenge Foggy down the hill. On the same stable, Baxter and Foggy. In fact, they are the same team. Here we go then. Is he going to have a look up the inside? No, he's not. Sensible, that's team driving for you. Oh, he goes wide, Foggy, though. He might be off the track. Oh, and that slows up Baxter because it doesn't want to get involved.
Very easy to do what Foggy did there, must admit. Does invite a quick speed in there. Who's that in the background? That's Jack Sedgwick trying to get in the mix with Ross McFarlane, Colin Cunniff, add Dave Baker and Alex Simpson to the fray as well. They're now starting to join this train as we hurtle our way around the Thunder Valley section of the circuit.
Well, the guys behind will be hoping the train was delayed.
Which amused me and amused me.
Indeed.
Well,
I will say that Adam Hadfield and Diogo Melro have exchanged places 2 or 3 times on this lap. Fantastic stuff there between them. 13th and 14th, and it's happening still.
Good to see George Simmons. I haven't seen him in the BSRTC in a while. Either that or I just have a poor memory. But he has gained 4 positions. Oh! And that is him trying to get past the immortal car of Hadfield.
Hang on, he was racing last week. Because I watched the broadcast and he was racing the week before.
Too many drivers, I'm sure.
No, he was telling us that he did the first 10 races with McLaren, and then he's back at the factory for the rest of the season.
Oh, there you go. Well, it is as well. Speaking of, it is the shutdown, isn't it, for the summer break at the moment?
Yeah.
Formula One teams. So ample opportunity to get some practice here as he goes around the outside.
The BSRTC never shuts down.
No, it doesn't.
We know that from the Facebook comments.
Oh. Even when this series isn't on, there's a winter series to worry about as well. We do love it.
Look at that. Look at Hadfield. There he goes. Well, he maintains it. 14th place, just about. He did lose out to Melro.
Oh, he's coming back at him.
Oh, you're never going to get through there, I'm afraid. Was optimistic at the best, and here comes Pete Harrod now. Don't let him have an opportunity because he will take it and take it well. Also going very well is Nathan Davies. He's up 4 places. Jamie Rushworth is up 4 places as well, as is Simmons. Ash Sutton's in the top 20 now, but it's going to get much more difficult because Jake Blackall is the next man in front of him, and we see him on the screen now. Jake Blackall. I say it's going to get more difficult. He drives for CQR, so it might not be the case.
Sutton, who was racing in the British Touring Car Celebration event at Snetterton at the weekend. A race that was double the distance. Oh, there's that McIntyre in the background that was all sorts of sideways, kicked up the dust as well. And I think Sutton might have even took a win in one of the races. Look at this.
I know he got on the oh, there goes, that's Laidler. And Mark Johnston getting evicted from that spot.
Here comes Adam McNally in the Scuderia Haggis car. Just a quick look at the time screen there for a second, and Mark Johnston trying to hold it out around the outside. It's all going to be about who's latest on the brakes going into this right-hander, and it's looking like McNally, but there is grip out there.
McNally isn't Scottish, but you'd be forgiven for driving for Scuderia Haggis. And then Rob Graham, who most definitely is Scottish, is behind.
He likes Haggis, potentially.
Potentially, yeah, that's it. We'll have to ask him. McFadden is there as well, though, in the CQR Academy car. He's battling with William Daniels.
Yeah, the two cars to gain more than 10 positions are both CQR cars, McFadden and Sutton, so far.
I'm not surprised though, they did start on the last 2 rows of the grid. So it was obvious that they were going to gain some places, but maybe not as many as this. In a race 1, it's very, very impressive indeed. There is very precious little movement at the front of the race at the moment, so this is probably the best place to look at the minute.
Yeah, I noticed that Daniels has come into the pits of his own accord. He hasn't towed back to the pits.
Oh, I say that. Foggy and Baxter side by side, it looks like.
Oh.
Hey? Oh, sorry, it's the other two. Sorry, it's the other two. I can't read.
McFarlane and Baxter.
As it turns out.
And Sedgwick as well, for good measure. Baxter could be about to lose out to both of them here as they come down the hill. Still in there though, he's hanging in there as we go through the left-hander and now the right-hander. Oh, you can see Farland's car getting all squirrely over the top of the hill there. There's that crown in the road which really does unsettle the car if you really hit it. And Baxter fighting again here as we go up towards the carousel. Boards with Sedgwick. He's got the 2 cars in front of him. He's trying to steer clear of it. He's going to try and make it through wide, and McFarlane is definitely through, and Sedgwick, he's got the inside line for the final corner.
Oh, Baxter nearly got a bit boxed in there, trying to get out of the box. Sedgwick goes, no, you need to stay in your box. And Boxster gets through into 5th place.
Oh, I hear it.
Oh, what's that?
Crash.
It's not Pete Newman, is it?
Don't think it is. The lead, I can tell you, is down to 0.2 of a second.
It did say Pete Newman crashed actually on the.
Oh, did he?
I don't know whether he. Yeah, Pete Newman's definitely crashed, I think, at some point, but we'll spare him the ignominy of that, I think. 3 wide then, into the keyhole. Stevens, I think, and it's Woodhouse and it's Blake. And it's the other one as well. What's the other one? Morrison.
Yeah, as we go through the keyhole.
No, it's not Morrison. Who is it? Oh no, Woodhouse. It's Woodhouse. It is that one. And there's somebody crashed off the circuit, but I think it is Newman. God, Stevens versus Woodhouse. Then these two seem glued together. I'm sure these two were racing each other last week as well.
Well, it's the top 2 in the AM Championship, isn't it? That's going wheel to wheel here. They're both in the top 10 in the World Championship as well.
That's very good by Stevens. Oh. Very good from both, really. Giving each other the space, that's what you want. Oh, Bash, well, there's no space there. He's just decided to punt him off the course, but Woodhouse comes back on. Says, have that. Now, did have some. Do you want some? I'll give it you.
This is the battle for the lead. And you can see it's really separated out now as it's the front 3 of Glatzel, Savidovic and Foggy that are going at it now with 11 to 4 laps to go.
Wojciech's left the door open a bit there, and Foggy, well, he very nearly walked through it. Like nothing more but to get one over on Wojciech Savidovic, I think, given the fact that the 3-time champion will definitely be there at the end. He's going to go for the lead here, Savidovic. Oh, it does. Oh, he nudges it, and again he nudges it.
Bit of a love tap there as they go through the left-hander, and he's going for it again. Just an early warning shot. Sometimes if you do it on the right driver, you can frighten them off the road if you do that, but Glatzel's wise to that move, and Savidovic knows now that he's going to have to try better than that as he closes right up, almost going underneath the rear bumper of the Northern Lights Racing GT Omega car there.
Glatzel's a bit of a warrior though, isn't he? He's not going to be easily persuaded to get out of the way, especially not when he's in the lead, although he might not have a choice soon. Hey-oh. Oh, there we go. That's what happened. Baker's dropping down the order. What's happened to Dave Baker? I think he's crashed.
Gone off the track. Yeah, that's what it says.
What happened to David Baker? We'll see it here. Coming through the final sector. Still on here.
Baxter, isn't it?
Yeah. Baxter, Baker, all you need is the candlestick maker now.
Very good. That's not very good though for Dave Baker.
It's not very good for him at all. No, it's not. It's good for Alex Simpson though. He's up in the 6th position. 6th position now.
can see that Foggy's now up in second place. So something's happened there. Might have been in the keyhole. Now it's Foggy. He's going to try and get the lead in the space of a lap as we go around the right-hander now, up to the top of the hill. Svidovic fighting back. Door mirrors getting exchanged there.
He doesn't want to give up on the outside, which is now the inside for the right. In fact, he needs to stay on the inside as Wojciech. Foggy needs to use that momentum, but it's going to get even more difficult, yeah, because you can, in the Kia, it's a bit bigger than the Mazda, you can crowd people out in that section and stop them from going around the outside.
So tempting to cut across there, but you know you do it. When you do, you'll just result in contact. And great driving there by Svidovic and Foggy. When we get to the line, there's going to be 2 laps to go. Hadfield and Simmons.
Oh, Simmons is, yeah. Simmons in real trouble, dropping down. Let's have a look. They're right next to each other, Adam, and I don't think this is going to go well. And little nudge over the crest, and is it going to be the quarter panel? Yes, it is. Bang! Off goes Simmons.
Those concrete walls have no give. We did see a
well, that went.
Go on, sorry.
I was going to say that went about as well as McLaren season.
Oh. Straight through the heart there. We did see a YouTube video earlier on iRacing's YouTube channel about a new damage model that's in preparation.
Oh man, there'd be bits of gear Optima everywhere. No, this is...
The doors come off.
Yeah. See. John Watson would have a field day, wouldn't he, with some of this. Oh, here comes Wojciech. Up the inside of Foggy again. Is it Foggy trying to go around the outside of Wojciech? It's the other way around, isn't it? Foggy to the inside for the left-hander, which now becomes the outside for the right. And again, just unfortunate, really, for Foggy that he's sort of one line through there, isn't it, mostly?
Apparently Kip Stevens has crashed as well, but look at that. In the space of half a lap, Glatzel has found an opening, and he's well and truly taken it. The gap's up to 0.8 of a second now. When we get to the line, there'll be just 1 lap left, and it's now up to Svidovic and Foggy to fight over the runners-up spot now as we go through the carousel.
These two won money races between them. They're vying for second place now at Mid-Ohio. We've got 1 more lap to go. And Sven Glatzel is only 1 tour of the circuit away from winning race 1. And that'll be very good for him.
Glatzel sits 20th in the championship. 2 wins to his name this season, 7 podiums. Tommy won a race, was, as we go through the keyhole, was all the way back at Montreal, which was a few months ago now.
Yeah, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Fortunately, I wasn't able to take part in that one. But here comes Foggy on the outside. Last ditch attempt, then last chance saloon. All the cliches you want. And there's another one. Door handle to door handle.
Over the top of the hill then, down through the left-hander and in towards Thunder Valley again. Sorry, standing very familiar, like a very familiar voice there as we go through the left-hander now. There's just no corner names at this circuit. That's what it is. And now a third of the lap to go.
2.
Yeah. And it's going to be surely Sven Glatzel that's got this win in hand now, within the palm of his hand, and Svidovic looks like he's got second place all sewed up as well as we come into the final few corners.
It's going to be very, very close, but I think Sven Glatzel's going to take it. Nice and tidy from the German, Adam. Fantastic.
Through the final corner, checker flag at the ready, and Sven Glatzel wins the opening race of the day. He loves it here in North America. He gets another race victory to his name, his 3rd of the campaign. Svidovic 2nd, Foggy 3rd, McFarlane 4th, Jack Sedgwick in 5th. Alex Simpson managed to get up to 6th place by the time that race concluded. And then Colin Cunniff, Steve Baxter, Jamie Rushworth and Nathan Davis rounding up the top 10. Ash Sutton got to 11th in the end, as here is Michael Blake trying to get past Mark Woodhouse coming through the final few corners.
28 positions gained for Sutton. Very close between Blake and Woodhouse, and Wright and Christian Rose, who was in last position for a while but managed to recover it. And George Simmons, 33rd. Going to be for him, I think. Tell you what, he will not like that, but what he might like is the reverse grid wheel, which we're going to show you in just a few minutes' time. Coming across and finishing the race is Rob Graham. That car has seen better days. Looks like a shopping trolley. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to trust anybody with that in the supermarket. I think it'll be a disaster.
Yeah. Very difficult to handle those ones. Yeah, in terms of George Simmons, I'm sure that will.
So were you trying to think of a shopping trolley pun and couldn't get one?
I probably was.
Yeah.
I'm sure many of them will be trolleyed by the end of the evening. Or that was just me in that World Series race.
Trolleyed or carted off.
Oh,
could be that as well.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll bring up plenty more Isle-related puns as the evening goes along. Considering that
where's Craig Evans? Isle of Base.
There you go.
Where is it?
Sven Glatzel then takes the victory, third win of the season. Wojciech Savidovic in second place, third for Nicole Foggy, second in the championship. So only one win to his name this year. Ross McFarlane finishes in fourth. He is in the free from aisle, free from wins, because he hasn't won a race this season. Jack Sedgwick in fifth, Alex Simpson in sixth, Colin Cunniff seventh, eighth Steve Baxter, ninth Jamie Rushworth, and 10th Nathan Davis. 11th Ash Sutton, Michael Hall finishing in 12th, 13th for Pete Harrod, and Adam Hadfield in 14th, the highest of the AMs. Dave Baker 15th for car 5, Dan Brown 16th, Craig Williams 17th, Chris Wood in 18th in the Team Mad car, and then moving on further back, Jake Blackhall 19th and Jack McIntyre in 20th place. 21st for Rusty Laidler, 22nd Mark Johnston, Stuart McFadden, another of the CQR cars to gain positions. And that stat that we used earlier in the broadcast, only he and Sutton were able to gain more than 10 places during that race. Barry Morrison 24th, Kip Stevens 25th, 26th for Mark Woodhouse, 27th for Michael Blake, 28th for Max Wright, 29th for Christian Rose, and 30th Scott Malcolm. Maciek Sakovic 31st, 32nd Lee Deemer, 33rd for George Simmons. No, that is not a yoke. He's in 33rd place. Diogo Melro in 34th, Rob Graham 35th, and in the cars one lap down or more, Adam McNally a lap down in 36th place. And you can see here, not too much in the way of retirees. McNally, the last classified finisher, and then Pete Newman, Will Daniels, and Brian Holmes out very early.
Well, Newman, Daniel, and Holmes, they can go to the express checkout 10 laps or less.
Oh dear. Well, I'm sure Pete Newman is. The car is handling as badly as having to use one of those self-service checkouts, I think. But yes, you can follow us. Hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to press the bell icon as well, because no, you won't get a member of staff to the checkout, but you will get a notification every time we go live.
I could normally stop laughing at that, but I could normally avoid laughing live on the stream. But yeah, I couldn't this time.
Right, reverse grid.
But yeah, what the bell does incidentally is it gives you notifications when our videos come out, and it stops YouTube from burying them under endless lists of videos that you don't want to watch. In fact, if you do want to watch us, then that will work.
Right then, time for the first reverse grid of the evening. And this is going to be an interesting one indeed. We could have as low as 20, be Jack McIntyre, or we could have as many as a full -1, and that would put Rob Graham on the pole. So we'll let Sam Kumo get let loose with the wheel and see what he's able to what he's able to get. Well, that is not a little spin. That is a big one. So full -3. That is going to be George Simmons. He's going to be on the pole. He's going to be delighted with that. Lee Deemer in second, Maciek Sakovic third, Scott Malcolm fourth, Christian Rose is going to be in fifth for this second race that's coming up in a bit. So we'll step aside and we'll have a quick commercial break here on Apex Racing TV, and when we come back, we'll be on the grid getting set for round 56 for the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here in Lexington, Ohio.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
back on the grid, getting set for the second race of the day here in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here at Mid-Ohio. The grid is up on your screen, and it's full-on England versus Wales here with George Simmons on the pole, Lee Diemer in second, then Maciej Sakovic third, Scott Malcolm fourth, Christian Rose, who is racing with just one foot today due to a ligament injury, so a credit to him there. Moving on back through the grid, Jim McFadden, who had a good race moving up through the field, gained more than 10 places. He's now 7th. Moving on back, further back, Ash Sutton starting in 23rd, so he's got to do even more overtaking. And Alex Simpson down there in 28th as well. Our winner, our race 1 winner, Sven Glatzel starting in 23rd. Oh, sorry, in 33rd. And Brighton Holmes starting at the very back.
All right. You ready for the start then for race 2? Let's see what's going to happen.
No Lee Diemer on the front row.
No Diemer. Well, it's an easy one for Simmons then. At least to get into the first corner first as the green light is on. Nice, clean start from everybody behind. Everyone seems to get away well. Oh, McIntyre in real trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where he's gone, but he's off on the outside of the track, Jack McIntyre. But George Simmons takes advantage of that spare space alongside him to lead the race.
Yeah, through the keyhole and out onto the back straight then, out of turn 2.
Through keyhole.
Through keyhole. Who habitates a house like this as they come down the straight? This is the 2 Automet cars. This is Max Wright versus Scott Malcolm. What is it? What's an ITV TV shows today?
I have no idea. You work for the BBC. I have no idea what it is.
Problem for McIntyre, he's already towed back to the pit, so something's gone horribly wrong. Either a blown engine away from the line or something of the sort.
Could have got hit. I wonder if he didn't get away very well and maybe got hit on the grid or something. But where was he starting, McIntyre? 14th? It's possible that he, I don't know, didn't get back in time. Who knows?
Well, we've got 2 white here. This is Mark Woodhouse and Michael Blake going through Thunder Valley. You can also see there Stuart McFadden, who's gained 2 spots away from the line. Alex Simpson has gained 6 since the start. He's up to 22nd as we go through the carousel now for the first time. Good to see Automech up there. And only 3 pro drivers inside the top 10.
Ash Sutton has lost 2 positions off the grid. That's very unusual. Jack Sedgwick's out, is he?
Is that 2 Jack gone?
Jack Sedgwick. Oh, he's not out. He's just dropped way down. The timing screen's going all over the place.
There he is.
Definitely lost. Oh, now he's. That's weird. He dropped to the very bottom of the screen. So sorry about that, Jack.
Got Ash Sutton though for company. Ash Sutton, who's already got a bit of damage to the front of his CQR car. He's going to sell him a dummy here. There's not necessarily space up there, but the reigning British Touring Car Champion makes sure that there is space there.
Well, Cedric gives him some back.
Well, Steve Baxter's in the gravel, and there's cones everywhere.
Well, don't know very much about this championship, but that sounds like it's something important.
Cedric been DQ'd. Has he vanished to now?
He just vanishes, yeah. No, in all seriousness, Steve Baxter doing extremely well in the championship, and that will be a blow. But he should be able to finish and get some points, unless it's a meatball, which I hope it isn't.
He's had to stay back to the pits, and it is a pretty short lap here. It's one of our shortest that we go to in the BSRTC. So he'll be hoping that he can get back out on track without having to go more than 2 laps down.
That could be a bit of a disaster then for Stephen Baxter in the points.
Carousel again here. This is a huge train officially, or apparently the battle for 15th. Getting led around by Williams, then it's Baker, then Hadfield, then Brown, then Pete Harrod and Michael Hall also in the mix too. And it's very hot conditions for this race. I just noticed on the YouTube chat that they were mentioning that, and tyres will be getting a punishing around here. There isn't too much in the way of breathing space for these tyres.
You'll be looking probably at the likes of maybe Dave Baker, people like that who usually quite kind to the car. Make sure that the tyres don't wear out, because if they do round here it becomes an absolute slog, because there's so many direction changes and so many medium speed corners. Here's Maciej Sakovic, then he won the Kia Club Series back in the day, and he's all over the back of Christian Rose now.
I think Rose
who you found some information out about in the break.
Yeah, he's injured. That's what we just mentioned on the grid. He's having to use just one foot for accelerating and braking.
He's having to right foot brake like the old days.
Like the people in cars now, well, ordinary cars now. Unless he's got an automatic, then I guess you do use both feet. That's what I gathered anyway from the driving lessons that I had a good 4 years ago, and I haven't been in a car since.
Oh dear.
I do have a license though, but
I'm saying that I haven't been in a car since 2005. Driving one, that is. I do go in cars.
I know. So
I don't go in cars. I mean, that'd be absurd, wouldn't it?
Our credibility as commentators are just like dropping down here, isn't it?
That's fair.
We're now on to
hey, I bet there's some commentators who don't ride motorcycles though. They do bike racing.
Definitely. As we go to the top of the hill now, into the keyhole. Then I wonder if I'm sure the BSRTC is always a series for using bizarre layouts. I wonder if we've ever used that keyhole chicane before.
I think we have. Yeah, I seem to remember we did. I don't know if it was at the Winter Series, but I do think we have used it.
The Rallycross, I think we might have used it in the Rallycross series.
Yeah, it didn't give any overtaking, I have to say. If it made even less overtaking than we already get around here. Oh, there's some overtaking going on in the background, actually. That's
Kip Stevens, isn't it? Yeah.
Stevens being overtaken, it looks like, by Mike Johnston. He's got it done, Johnston, and Stevens somehow gets the cutback. I don't know how he did that without crashing Johnston off.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, Johnson needs to give him the space.
That was
alongside.
That was always going to happen.
Oh yeah.
And now a cut back. Now it's going to be Johnston on the inside this time as we go into the carousel. There's Laidler watching this, licking his lips really, because that's happened.
No, yeah.
Through goes everybody. Oh,
what's happened there? That's Williams.
Black call, and that's Williams off.
Oh, and there goes, and that's Harrod. Getting in and that's Hall, sorry, getting in and amongst it with not Baxter, no, I've no idea. Dan Brown it might be.
Yeah, Dan Brown in 19th.
Oh my goodness me, look at that.
There is a bit of a bumpy spot on that track. I do remember a questionable rejoin a few years ago.
Oh, is that a disqualification? One of the CQR cars just vanished.
Well, there's a...
I don't know. Glatzel's off.
I think Glatzel's off. He's down to 30th. The race 1 winner is almost certainly not going to be taking a race victory in race 2.
Well, I have to say, Christian Rose is doing a fine job in second place. To say he's hurt. We did find out that Pete Newman was apparently on holiday, and that's why he's suffering a bit out there with the controller. It looks like.
We also did mention, I think he was using a controller here last year. Oh no, sorry, 3 years ago, back in 2015. Remember that from one of our broadcasts that we had on.
That was for a much different reason. No, that was
because he was in a hospital bed. Here is Wojciech Savidovic, who is up and at it here, going through the left-hander.
Up and at them. Oh, Bosch, Brown and Hall. Foggy's gone through on Hall as well. Hall's been sent wide. It's just a gaggle of cars, this, isn't it? It's just a gaggle of top drivers, isn't it? Savidovic, Foggy, Hall, Cedric Davis, Simpson in there. Holmes.
Well, at some point, that Davis was using the pit lane there to try and find a way past Michael Hall there. And who's this coming up the inside? That's
McNally, isn't it?
That's McNally, yeah. And Davis.
Oh, here comes Nathan Davis. Well, that's not very good.
Shades of the BSRTC classic that we've got coming up.
And there it goes. And that is Holmes. Getting involved in that.
Yeah, that's with the AM number plates. I think
it hasn't seemed to go. I don't know exactly where he is in the standings, Brian Holmes, but it hasn't seemed to have gone massively well in the BSRTC since he's joined it for him.
Broken right front for Michael Hall, it looked like there as well. And a problem for another Northern Lights racing car. That's Ross McFarlane that's touring. So it's Will Daniels, isn't it?
That looks like broken. Oh no, there's nothing broken really on that car for Will Daniels, I don't think. Not majorly. Yeah, Brighton Holmes down in 32nd place in the championship. We know how good he is. But now he's in the pits, he's now out of the race.
Got a gaggle here for 5th. Right on cue, Sam, very good. I'm going through the left-hander. That is Scott Malcolm that's leading the train. Then it's Michael Blake, then Mark Woodhouse. Then Stuart McFadden, who's going for the inside.
Here comes McFadden. Going to go on Woodhouse. Unhand my surname. Here comes Mark up. Mark's on the inside. Stuart's on the outside. See who's going to be brave. McFadden. No, he's trying to come across. I don't think he's. Oh, he is clear. That's well done.
Yeah, from that initial camera angle.
That was risky.
Yeah, the contact was going to be inevitable, but he just about did it. And I don't know whether Woodhouse got on the anchors a bit just to avoid it, but yeah, that is the young Scot up into 7th place now. He's the 3rd highest pro driver in the field.
Massively risky business that was from McFadden, but managed to get it done. Woodhouse down to 8th. Morrison's just behind them in 9th. Blackhall 10th. Baker 11th. Then Rusty Layler, Adam Hadfield, Kip Stevens, Mark Johnston.
Insanely difficult for us to pick a battle to look at because literally every single person on circuit is separated by less than a second. That's how...
yeah. Adam Hadfield's having a very good race. He's up to 13th. He's up 7 places. Wojciech Svidovic and Chris Wood have been side by side for what seems like a couple of laps.
Yeah, there they are.
Still side by side then. 3 times champion of this series, and Chris Wood, who's won races in the World GT Championship that we cover on the channel, and just sneaking ahead of Williams.
Svidovic up into 17th place now. If we were to get a very small reverse grid, as in 20, he'd be on the 2nd row. And look at that. That is try and pick a driver out of that. And we're just about able to with the.
I can pick out Pete Newman because I can tell it's Pete Newman because of where he is. Sorry, Pete.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's hard that we have a green circle actually when there are green circles. Never mind, we can sort that out at some point. There's the initials.
Yeah, there you go. MW, it's Mark Woodhouse. Trying to find a way past MB, Michael Blake, going into the right-hander here. Oh, he's made a right mess of that, and this is going to allow BM, Barry Morrison, to find a way around the outside here.
Yeah, Morrison trying to go around the outside. And he's done... Oh, this is very, very good. Very close and very clean from these two so far. Tell you what, it is just brave stuff.
Team Mad drivers are pretty good at going side to side with somebody for a good period of time. We saw that with Chris Wood and Svidovic. Now it's Woodhouse versus Morrison.
Morrison going all the way around the outside. Here comes Jake Blackhall now, saying I want a piece of this as well, the Australian. Got to watch that netcode though, it can be a factor.
Factor in this and many other games as well.
No, some people might tell you that netcode doesn't exist, but ask Massimiliano Ficara that. Tell him that netcode doesn't exist. As up the inside goes Blackhall into the keyhole.
More drama in terms of the championship. Nicole Foggy, you can see at the bottom of the screen, he's had to tow back to the pits as well. So both Baxter and Foggy, top 2 in the championship, had to return to the pit lane in this race.
Yeah, not good. Not good for them at all. But it does mean that battle at the front is fairly even. It might mean that Dave Baker goes up into 2nd place in the championship if he survives the race, as Blackhall, well, almost didn't survive the grass.
That was McFadden in the in the academy car. Yeah, he
was indeed. Sorry, the colours are similar.
It is. Yeah, you got the pink on McFadden, and then what is it? The red on Blackhall.
It's red, but it's a dark pink. It's not like a light pink, is it? Like on Paul Smith's car, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not super easy to tell them apart at a distance, actually. But Simmons having a great run. He's only 1 second ahead of Rose now, you know. Rose is closing in on him. And, you know, it's not done this at all. The walking wounded, Christian Rose, against the man who was well and truly wounded in the first race, George Simmons, but doing a good job in this one, really stretching away early, but Christian Rose pulling back now a tenth or two on the last couple of laps.
Remember,
It's almost in the slipstream range, Adam, where it can be effective.
yeah, the gap's just hovering around a second. I remember Matt Neal, I think, once raced with one arm when I think he injured his one of his arms fencing or something like that a few years ago.
Oh, that's not a middle class thing to do, is it?
Oh, high and mighty.
We can make the jokes about the money, can't we? Now, do you know about Matt Neal's money anyway, don't we? But
well, Matt, if you are watching, Mr. Woodhouse is offering to have a game of fencing with you.
I'd get actually killed in the sport with bendy swords.
First of all, you have to work out where you're going with.
He's so tall though; I'd have no chance. You seen how tall he is?
He's taller than me. Well,
his arms are probably like, you know, he's probably got 3 feet reach advantage.
Well, we've got a train here that's probably as long as Matt Neal. And it's the battle for fifth. It's Scott Malcolm holding back Stuart McFadden, and Scott Malcolm is doing a pretty good job. He's managed to maintain a spot inside the top 5, and if things kick off ahead, a podium might not be too much in doubt. But for now, he's having to turn his attention to this battle behind. Fairness,
actually, yeah. If you lay Matt Neal down on the ground, that's probably about as that's probably accurate. Now, Scott Malcolm going into battle with another Scotsman, Stuart McFadden. They have a bit of fun, usually on the team speak or on the Discord.
Usually go to the British
having some
cars.
Laughs and jokes together, but here, there's no laughing matter now, boys.
All right, Michael Blake is trying to get involved in this group exchange, but McFadden's said no to that, and he's trying to block his method of communicating with these two as they go into the right-hander. Here comes this immortal car, dive up the inside. Malcolm.
Good move by Blake. He's going to go all the way around as well, using the momentum. Oh, he might just surprise Malcolm as well, but actually that's allowed McFadden to get back in the fray. McFadden's trying to squeeze Michael Blake. That doesn't work. It's not going to work. Oh, he runs him off the road. He's trying to run him out of road. That was a brave thing to do. Not quite cricket, but they're Scottish. I'm not sure they'd understand.
Oh, we're offending everybody today. As up to the top of the hill comes the Vortex car. I felt for certain there was going to be a quarter panel at some point between Blake and Morrison here, but it's going to be Blake that maintains his position. And what we saw there was a fantastic defensive drive by Scott Malcolm. When we got to the end of the back straight, he moved over to the outside, which looked like initially that he was heading wide, but it stopped Stuart McFadden from getting that momentum around the outside, and that really helps him there. As we're now on to lap 12 of 14, just 3 laps to go now, and Balfour leads half a second.
I have to say, I have to take that back, because I remember that about 6 weeks ago, Scotland beat England at cricket in a one-day international.
And off goes and bowled out.
Off goes my credibility, as does Michael Blake. Yeah. There he goes.
I think that was out the boundary. Here comes Scott Malcolm and Stuart McFadden again down the back straight now. This is Automech versus CQR Academy. Stuart McFadden, I think, was once part of the Automech stable. Now with CQR.
Oh, he's gone a bit wide. Maybe into the marbles. Oh, Bosch! Heck! Well, that was pretty close.
Well.
Oh, Malcolm says, have that, young man.
Can he do that? And then through goes McFadden up into 5th. Game is up.
Well, it was, but I thought Scott had the high ground there, but, you know, well, he'll take the high road and he'll take the low road, and we'll be in Scotland by the morning. Jack Sedgwick and Pete Harron, side by side, exchanging positions, left, right and centre, again.
Kip Stevens for company here as well.
Look at that, and the 2 Immortals as well.
Oh, Stevens tagged a little bit there, going through the final corner. You can also see in the foreground, that's an Apex car trying to get up the inside.
Wojciech.
That's Wojciech trying to get past Laidler. Savidovic 20 positions gained in this one.
Yeah, really good.
Don't know what happened to Ash Sutton, but he's gone.
I was just thinking that.
He
didn't even last 2 laps, Adam, so I'm not sure, really.
Have a look at the
Surely
end of
even
the race.
Sutton can't get disqualified in 2 laps, can he?
Well,
In fact, don't answer that. He probably can. As here comes Wojciech Savinovic. Then having a look, and look at McFadden, not McFadden, Blackhall and Malcolm as well in front. Side by side again. Oh, hello again. Soper and Cleland action nearly.
and through goes Dave Baker on both of them.
Well, Baker going through into second place in the championship with the demise of Foggy, and
Baxter too. That's going to close things up.
might be able to sneak up into the top 5. Car 5 into 5th.
Unless Blackhall
there.
fights back there. If Blackhall gets by, Baker could be muscled back down to 6th or even 7th here as we're going to get the white flag this time. Last lap for George Simmons. And this battle continues. Huge train here. There's a good, I'd say, dozen at least cars that are in this train here as we come out the final corner.
Simmons hasn't quite broken Christian Rose, but he's still only 0.8 of a second. Simmons was quicker by 1700ths on the last lap.
It's shades of Monty Python and the Holy Grail here, I think, as Christian Rose continues this pursuit. Even though one of his legs isn't working.
It is but a scratch.
It's only a flesh wound. As and this could end in disaster here. For there could be no turn coming back from this if Scott Malcolm and Rusty Laidler end in the gravel here.
I know, right?
Well, Malcolm's giving him the space. As we go to the top of the hill, Laidler finds a way through up the inside, gives him a little bit. Oh no, that was off. That's Newman. I think he's getting lapped.
Yeah, I think he is. Apparently Ross McFarlane's crashed somewhere as well. But here we go then, to the line for George Simmons. Just got a couple of corners to go on.
Davidovic missed out on the victory narrowly in race 1, but it's going to be Apex taking the victory here in race 2. Through the final corner, George Simmons wins the second race, round 56 of the BSRTC. Christian Rose finishing in second. Who's going to get that final spot on the podium? It's going to be Maciej Sakovic. He is a long, long way behind.
Very good drive by Sakovic.
Very good drive by Max Wright as well. We barely spoke about him. Managed to get 4th place there. Look at all those cars there flying across the line.
He was right on the magic sandwich at the end. He was right on him, only 0.15 of a second behind. It's very good indeed.
Coming across the line, who again, Savinovic managed to get a top 10 in the end. So a 2nd and a 10th. Take that nicely, especially with Nicole Foggy and Stephen Baxter, as far as I'm aware, picking up 2 zeros in this one. Will Daniels 12 positions gained, Diogo Melro 14 gains. Here is Ross McFarlane chasing Michael Hall. Now this is a battle for 29.
Oh, this is a battle of the absolutely crippled cars. Look at the state of those. Dear, dear, dear. McFarlane's trying everything to close in. It's like a battle in slow motion, this. Look at Hall. Look how much lock he's putting on to try and get around the corner. That's like 500 degrees of lock nearly. Dear me. He's going to get across though ahead of McFarlane, just about. Well done.
No fast repair in the BSRTC. Let's remember that. So obviously Michael Hall, and he was deemed to be right, saw that it was easier to drive that car for 14 laps. Obviously it wasn't too enjoyable than it was to go to the pits, get stuck there for 2 laps and end up scoring no points at all.
So you can tell it was a little bit of a crazy race when the last 3 guys on the lead lap were Jamie Rushworth, Michael Hall and Ross McFarlane.
And let's have a look at the drivers that finished at the top of the time at the finishing order as well. It's George Simmons that wins. Christian Rose finishing in 2nd. Maciej Sakovic in 3rd. Max Wright in 4th. 2 AM drivers there in the top 5. Stuart McFadden finishing in 5th. Ahead of Dave Baker, who gained 13 positions to finish in his customary 6th position. Jake Blackhall finishing in 7th. 8th for Mark Woodhouse. Good job there by the AM category leader. Then Barry Morrison in 9th and Wojciech Savinovic gaining 22 positions to finish in 10th. Rusty Laidler got past Scott Malcolm in the end. In fact, Scott Malcolm lost quite a few positions on that final half a lap. You'll notice him all the way down there in a minute. Adam Hadfield in 12th, Mark Johnston 13th, Michael Blake in 14th, the third of a trio of Simmortal cars. Then it's Jack Sedgwick in 15th, 16th Scott Malcolm, there he is, with about 3 laps to go, he was in 5th. Then 17th Pete Howard, 18th for Kip Stevens, 19th Chris Wood and 20th for Diogo Melro. Dan Brown and Alan McNally, 2 Scuderia Haggis cars there in 21st and 22nd. Sven Glatzel, Colin Cunniff in 23rd with Sven Glatzel in 24th. He was off at on the infield of the keyhole earlier. Alex Simpson finishing in 25th place. Alex gained 3 positions, but at a track like Mid-Ohio, it's very difficult to get those moves done, and Alex was stuck in 25th place. If it's a moderately sized reverse grid, Alex might find himself nearer the front for the final race. Well, Daniels in 26th, 27th for Rob Graham, then Jamie Rushworth in 28th, Michael Hall 29th and Ross McFarlane in 30th. If we do get a full -1, it will be him on the pole. Pete Newman getting lapped. Craig Williams 2 laps down, Nathan Davis also 2 laps down, Nicole Foggy 6 laps down, Brian Holmes 9 laps down, Ash Sutton out very early on as well. And you can see there, Steve Baxter out very early on too, in the gravel at the keyhole. Jack McIntyre was gone within a corner, and Lee Deemer was meant to start on the front row of the grid, but didn't take the start. And before we get to the reverse grid, we did mention it in terms of any DQs in this one. The incident limit is 15, by the way. The cars have got disqualified. Nathan Davis finished near the bottom. Ash Sutton did get disqualified within 2 laps. And Craig Williams also suffered as well. So those are the 3 cars that got DQ'd during this second race.
Dear me. Well, there was lots going on in that one. I did enjoy it a lot. Well done to everybody who finished. Well done to everybody who finished in the top 10 especially, because that was very, very hard fought indeed. Yeah, let's take you through the reverse grid wheel then for the second time tonight and see who's going to be on pole.
Right then, it was a full -3 earlier, and George Simmons was very happy with that one. Sam, whose day are you going to make this time with the reverse grid?
Well, I'm gonna make everyone's day good with the -1.
Full -1. So I think
Ross
Pete
McFarlane.
Pete Newman's pretty happy that we did change that rule. Imagine if he was on the pole position with a controller.
I would have wanted him to do it, but I'm not a sadist.
There you go. There you go. That's one to take out of context in a video edit at some point. Then it is Ross McFarlane on the pole, Michael Hall second, Jamie Rushworth third. A very good day for CQR with this one. And Rob Graham's going to be starting in 4th. So that is how the field is going to be lining up for the final race of the day. We'll be back after the break, and during this break, you'll be able to see what happened. Well, you'll be able to see if the driving standards have improved in the BSRTC from 2015 as we look back at a BSRTC Classic from Interlagos in 2015.
The green light's on already, and that was what's happened to Robert Plumley.
Yeah, that was a weird start to say the least, wasn't it?
I want to watch this. The green light's on already, and that was what's happened to Robert Plumley.
Yeah, that was a weird start to say the least, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He just turned sharp left. I don't know whether we didn't get engaged into first
Seemed
gear
like
or
an
something.
early start as well. We hadn't had a minute of gridding, which we normally do have, so not exactly sure what's gone on there. But leading is
Maybe
Robert Graham's miles in the lead. Scott Malcolm second. He's got Dan Blake behind him.
Huge crash. Shepelevsky, Hunt.
Savidovic.
How does he avoid that?
Job again, possibly?
Well, I'm
No,
sure he's
Job's-
involved.
oh,
Yeah,
I think he's.
Yeah,
He's
finished.
avoided it. He's
No,
avoided it, I think.
no,
No,
he's there.
he's not.
there.
He's smashed
no,
to
he's
bits.
not. Oh, it was Blackall that avoided it all for Apex.
I don't know
Massive
who-
crash.
Just watch
Savidovic-
it, they're 3 wide behind.
Has Savidovic got...
Got Shellback as well. All the GT Omega cars, I think, were involved. I think actually all of them. apart from Daniel Hunt.
Here we go. So we're on board with
Yep.
Svidovic now. He's behind Shellback. He's got Kaiser to his right. So it's going to happen just in front of him, isn't it? So there it all starts to go off there. He can't see nothing. Oh, I mean, he's a complete passenger. You know, he caught a car on the left, he caught a car on the right. It looked like he got massive damage. It's repaired itself, so it was just, yeah, he's so lucky there. So lucky. He couldn't see anything. He had no idea where anyone was.
If he was Kaiser, he was going for a trip across, and that's just pure luck of circumstance right there. Dan Blake could be on for some big things here, as could Laser Tools. Robert Graham leads, Scott Malcolm second, Blake third, Andrew Whitehead fourth, Plumley fifth, Roberts sixth, Fag seventh, Stevens eighth, Richardson ninth, and Burke in 10th.
I believe the lights are off on the safety car. Robert Graham backing the pack up, using a smart strategy here. We don't often see this in iRacing, Alex. Someone backing the pack up, what you'd say properly, actually. And Graham's going now, but he's going to go too quickly. Where's that pace car? Where's that Ford Mustang?
He's going way too quickly. Safety car's there.
Safety car's still. Oh no! Oh my goodness me! No,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't. But yeah, that was. Oh, this is going to cause a nightmare.
And now he's got to go again.
Green flag.
No.
Now he goes.
Will Blake get a penalty because he officially took the race lead?
I think he's giving it back though, so he's got a lot of damage, Dan Blake, as well. From something, I'm not exactly sure. Robert Graham that takes the lead into turn 1. Scott Malcolm in second place. Andrew Whitehead is, I believe, still third. Yeah, ahead of Dan Blake. Rob Plumley in fourth. John Roberts fifth. Rob Fagg sixth. Kip Stevens in seventh. Ahead of Sutton, who somehow made it through all that nonsense. Ashley Sutton started 25th, and he's up to 9th already, and he's trying on Kip Stevens here, and that's not an easy thing to do. Stevens needs to worry about the championship, but he's also trying to get his way past Ashley Sutton and keep in front of Ashley Sutton. But you sense that one's a bit futile.
Yeah, side by side down towards Ferradura. We'll see what happens. Why do we have a Ford Mustang as a safety car? Should we all contact?
Oh goodness me! Well, I think that's what Kip Stevens says to that then.
Sutton now battling away with his
teammate.
supposed teammate.
Don't hit your teammate there, Ash. Andreas Katz just behind this group with Field and Hunt. Dan Hunt's in there. Look at the damage on a lot of these cars. Alex, that's going to be affecting the speed of many of these Kia Optimas near the back. As Hunt nearly quarter panels Stephen Burke. And he's going to quarter panel him in a minute. There's tensions rising to maybe slightly unhealthy levels. Oh, what's Daniel Hunt doing?
And who's that going to allow to get through?
Katz is going to slow down.
Oh, no.
He's almost stuck in the middle of the track. All sorts of stuff going on here. Gore and Blackhall are through. Katz has gone down to last place.
Savidovic trying to get involved in this as well. Down the front straight.
This is unhealthy, boys. Something's going to go down here.
Recipe for disaster, surely.
I can just see it happening.
Into the first corner, 3 wide. Who's going to go out? Savidovic early on the brakes. Steve Richardson trying to steer clear. Cunniff down the inside as the Laser Tools car's out of control.
Hunt's just punted Smolenski. Something's happening with Daniel Hunt here. That's 2 incidents. It looks like he's just driven into intentionally. I don't know about anything else there, but
Savidovic through into 14th place, gained a lot of positions there.
Yep.
Robert Fagg and that's John Roberts
maybe
as well. Kip Stevens running off there as well. Gets back onto the track.
Dan Blake's got severe damage to the front of that car.
Everyone's got severe damage, let's face it.
Sutton all over the place there, and now Field looks down the inside.
Field nearly hitting his teammate there. John Roberts trying to stay out of trouble. Remember, he's still got an AM Championship to try and win. It didn't look so bad actually when I looked at the replay of the Daniel Hunt, the second incident, so apologies to him. It didn't look like it was intentional, of course, but yeah, he just looked a bit clumsy, to be honest, by both men.
Paul Smith fighting with Smolenski. He needs to get by Smolenski, really, because he's got Richard Gore ahead of him. Gore's got up and past him. Of course, that's AM Championship right there as well. Smolenski must have some damage that we can't quite see or something like that, because he's really struggling out there.
Janowski and Richardson are very slow through the Junsao, and that's going to allow Richard Gore to get onto the back of them through the left-hander. And they're side by side, Gore and Richardson. This is a battle for 17th and
16th and
16th
7th. Yeah.
on the racetrack. Side by side there, and Katz is side by side with Smolenski as well as they head down the front straight. Oh, Sutton battling away with Fag, and he hits Fag, he puts him sideways.
This is getting a little bit silly now.
Down the inside he goes.
There's certain people tonight who don't seem to be capable of making a move without hitting another car. And Field having a look. Oh, Fag's turned across Field, and there's only one ending for that one, unfortunately. We could see that coming a mile off. This is some of the worst driving I've ever seen, I think, gentlemen.
Well, at the beginning of this race, the race organiser said they haven't got an incident limit, and that means they've got to go around manually disqualifying drivers. I don't know if they're doing that.
There's no incident limit. That explains it, doesn't it?
Well, they'll all get disqualified if they go over the points anyway. It doesn't matter. They'll do it at the end of the race.
But now they're getting disqualified at the end, which means they can cause as much chaos and carnage as they like during the race. There's no restriction, is there?
Colin Cunniff looking on Janowski as well. Got a good run. He's going to have to go around the outside if he's going to make this one stick. Lots of drivers keep going faster than Rob Graham's fastest lap time out there, but they're doing it with an off track, and Cunniff just gives Janowski a little tap on the side. That's a bit more like touring car racing that we're used to seeing.
It's a great battle. It's a great run for Lazy Tools, actually. Graham and Malcolm having a fantastic race at the front. And long may that continue for them, because it's deserved.
And Savinovich now into the top 10.
You've got Janowski and Cunniff now. Janowski's at 29th, he's up to 13th actually. He must have avoided most of that. He's got a pretty damaged car. Sorry,
Malcolm's gone off, and that's going to allow Whitehead through.
Oh, Plumley's there as well. So up the hill, this could be interesting. Plumley around the front of Scott Malcolm. Excellent move from Rob Plumley there.
Very brave to turn across.
Malcolm trying the inside line. Plumley's trying on Whitehead. Oh, just about stopped himself from running into the back of the Engine Oil Direct car. So Stem Sim Racing, they haven't had a great day so far. It's not really going very well for them at all, but especially with Dave Baker out, none of the guys who actually retired to the pits have been able to come back out at all.
And that shows it, the fast toe right there.
Just one, actually. Jake Blackwell, he managed to make his way back out on track, so...
Sorry, yes.
So only one, but yeah, everybody else, so severe was the damage, so...
Blackwell avoided most of it. He was at the back of the field. So he did, I think he might have got a light tap somewhere, and that's all. But it's been a terrible meeting for the Australian. He was the first man out in both the races. Now he's virtually last on the racetrack. He's just not having a good time of it out there. But he's a race winner in this series. We know he can do very well. As Robert Graham, he's going to have to do very well in defence. He goes defensive very early on with Andrew Whitehead. Whitehead gets a cutback, and he's going to cut through turn 2 very, very nicely. And then in Curva de Sol, can he keep Adam to challenge down into Desida de Lago?
He's done a good job. Plumley was all over the place there, and he's going to be under pressure from Scott Malcolm in a minute. But yeah, Whitehead looking to the inside. Graham covers the inside for now. Oh, they nearly hit each other. They do hit each other. And now Plumley nearly goes into the back of Whitehead as well. Minimal damage, though, for Andrew Whitehead. Who was
very light contact, really.
Sutton's barging his way through. He's got past Scott Malcolm now. So Sutton is now cracked the top 4. And look how close he is. He could take a race, well, he could take a race victory here.
Yeah, so the Laser Tool car, they're defending well. Whitehead, very late on the brakes, just gets his nose up the inside. Still watching this on the replay, of course, but that was the overtake there. That was great. And we're back to live.
Sorry, Alex, there.
Sutton is just... He's got no fear, has he?
Rob Graham half defended the line and half didn't, and these two are going to end up in a heap.
He's going to force him wide. Here comes Plumley. Here comes Plumley.
He's going to quarter panel him. Yeah, there you go. Oh my God, this is absolutely awful.
Savinovich avoids it though. Just.
Oh my God, he has again. Houdini himself. This is just. Yeah, the next word out of my mouth, I was going to get fired. I'm not going to say it, but it is. Oh dear.
Well, Savinovich is up into 5th now. Can he get past Scott Malcolm?
He can try, but that's not the place, I wouldn't think. Very, very difficult to get through there.
Oh, well,
Savinovich must be just... I don't know, does he... he's the luckiest man in touring cars.
Savinovich now coming through on Malcolm.
Yeah, very difficult.
Side by side then. This is for 4th place. Down the inside goes Savinovic. Is he going to be later on the brakes to get past the Laser Tools car? No, he's not. Malcolm doing a very good job there, but Savinovic will have the inside line and the preferred line, but no, Malcolm shoves it back up the inside. So fair play by the Laser Tools driver, who was battling away with Ashley Sutton a lap ago. Now here we go down the straight towards Casino del Lago. Kip Stevens could be about to take a victory here. He's right on the back of Andrew Whitehead as well.
Yeah, Kip Stevens has done a great race for New Homes Digital. He's going to find himself right in that championship battle, I think. But Wojciech Savinovic is going through into P4 now, past Scott Malcolm. So Savinovic doing a very, very good job actually of literally keeping his head while everybody else is losing theirs. So excellent work. Kip Stevens as well, you've got to hand it to him. You know, Alex, it would have been very, very easy for Stevens or Savinovic to get involved in this trouble, and they've both avoided it very well.
Well, Andrew Whitehead last took a victory at Summit Point as Savinovic gets past Robert Graham. They're side by side.
Season 6 or 7,
I think.
11, I think. Yeah.
Yes, season 7, and now into the lead they go.
There was almost contact there. Whitehead twitching around under braking. Stevens trying to go around the outside. The centre S, it's not going to work that time.
Robert Graham still holding on ahead of Savinovic. Savinovic wasn't able to find a way through on the straight.
Might get through coming out of Curve de Sol though. He's got a nice run, as has Robert Fagg on Scott Malcolm as well. So Eurochip Digital on the move there. And Andreas Katz up to 11th place as well.
Down the inside goes Stevens. Will Whitehead try and get the cut back on the exit? No, he can't.
No, he will try. He's got a great run. But yeah, he's not going to get enough time. I thought he'd actually judged that beautifully, but Stevens got a good enough exit to make sure that the Engine Oil Direct car couldn't get anywhere near him. So good move there. And Stevens, Adam, he always seems to take race victories at the most surprising times, really.
Yeah, he took a victory at race 2 at Okayama as Fag goes down the inside of Malcolm.
He's through.
Nearly.
No.
Oh, he gets hit by
me. It's Roberts, I think it's, and Robert Fagg has gone into the wall. He needs to get going again quickly because Janowski's there.
Yeah, Blackall. Do you know what? Considering the damage he had, and the race meeting he's had,
Gore's got a hell of a lot of damage as well.
He's still going to get a reasonable result out of this.
Smith and Gore are like mortal enemies. They'll like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They'll fight to the death. As Steve Richardson just on the inside, and he's kept a nice line there. The veteran of this series. Oh, and Blackall, there's not a lot of room there to go down the inside, go around the outside, down the straight towards the Cida del Lago, and actually Blackall's managed to get through, and Will Smith go through as well. It's important for him to try to make that position up on the last lap, and through then towards the finish line comes Kip Stevens to win an absolute war here at Interlagos. Kip Stevens wins, and Andrew Whitehead is going to Wojciech Savinovic is going to get second place from Andrew Whitehead. And is it fourth. Robert Graham or is it Daniel Hunt? It is Robert Graham who gets fourth place ahead of Dan Hunt. John Roberts in sixth, and seventh is Colin Cunniff. Alex Smolenski again, getting through the carnage. Eighth, Scott Malcolm. Ninth, got beaten up a little bit at the end there. Andreas Katz in 10th, Richard Gore 11th. 12th for Jake Blackall. 13th, Steve Richardson. 14th, Paul Smith. 15th was Julian Janowski. And it was Dan Blake in 16th. Rob Fagg was 17th.
And that is it.
And that is it, at least before any disqualifications as well.
It hasn't really changed, has it? Welcome back to the BSRTC here on Apex Racing TV. We're getting set for the final race of the day here in the 2018 series of the championship. And here is the top 10 on the grid as we're getting set to go here. Adam Bath and Andrew Woodhouse in the commentary box here. As always, as we have been throughout tonight, it's Ross McFarlane on the pole. Then it's Michael Hall, Jamie Rushworth, Rob Graham, who was right in the mix there in that 2015 race. Will Daniels, Alex Simpson, who was commentating on that one. Sven Glatzel, Colin Cunniff, Adam McNally and Dan Brown rounding out the top 10. Andrew Woodhouse, final race of the day.
Yes, it is, and yeah, there you go. That's the obvious way in, isn't it? How good was that Interlagos race, though? It was certainly entertaining, if not slightly rambunctious. I think we'll use that word. Looking down the grid, you see it there. Dave Baker down 25th. You see him. Ash Sutton at the back again. Wonder how many places he can make up. They're ready, Adam.
Here we go. The lights are off and we're away here. Good start from Ross McFarlane. He's just about going to keep Michael Hall at bay. It's going to be Jamie Rushworth that they might have to watch out for going through this first corner. Hall slots into that second place nicely. And a good start from Alex Simpson as well. He's gained 2 positions up to 4th, past Rob Graham and past Will Daniels, who's had a pretty poor start. He's lost 2 places as we go up to the keyhole. And it's Michael Hall that's having to keep Rushworth at bay now as we go onto the backstraight.
Can I say that Mid-Ohio looking absolutely resplendent in the evening sunshine? Looks beautiful out there. I love what iRacing have done with the lighting over the past couple of years. And look at this gaggle. Absolutely amazing. Ash Sutton's already gained 3 places, as has Jack Sedgwick, as has Dave Baker, as has Craig Williams. Pete Harrod's up 4 places.
Say one thing from that video that we saw is that definitely an improvement on the Kia Optimus sounds and also the crash physics. We don't see too many cars going for rides like that anymore. But as we go over the top of the hill through Thunder Valley, it's we're looking here at Sven Glatzel, who's gained 2 positions along with Alex Simpson, and Alex getting right onto the back of the CQR car straight away as Pete Harrod gets past Adam McNally. Before McNally has a go back at him, and I hear contact.
Oh yeah, somebody sliding. I think somebody just got maybe quarter panelled. It might be Adam Hadfield, is it? I think it is. Adam Hadfield is dropping down.
Oh, Mark Woodhouse getting tapped there as well, or was that Chris Wood? It was definitely a Team Ad car with a Union flag.
Somebody just in front. Look how congested it is through the final complex.
I think that might just be the first unintended boosted pun of the day here as Morrison comes into the pits at the end of the first lap.
Dead.
Yeah, that's 2. Ross McFarlane then leads at the end of the opening lap. It's Hall in 2nd, Rushworth 3rd. Then it's Alex Simpson in 4th, Sven Glatzel in 5th. I could probably say that any one of these top 5 could win this race. They've all got the pace to do so. It's all going to be about whether they can close that 0.6 of a second gap to Ross McFarlane, who's away at the end of this opening lap.
You're going to have to give a shout out to Paul Smith, who was watching on the stream earlier on with his hotel internet. He's been post-TED in London for quite some time. Oh, there we go. Punted is Daniels, and that was by Brown, I think. I think Dan Brown might have got into him.
Yeah, Danny Order goes Daniels as a result, and this has now resulted in some wheel-to-wheel action between Graham and not Graham and Brown, it's McNally and Harrod, I should say. Harrod up the inside. That's going to be close to a quarter panel. Watch out for Jack Sedgwick in all this.
Did you say resulted?
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. When you look at it, don't we just do boosted puns every day?
I think we do. There's a song in there. It's a bit like I wish it could be boosted every day. There's the McNally, the Youth Energy. That's a real energy drink, unlike the made-up one. And who's this going up the inside?
It's Melrose.
Oh, that's brilliant from Melrose. That is world class.
Well,
how he's done that, the Portuguese, have absolutely no idea. But he has done it, and that as clean as a whistle. Beautiful drive. That could be the move of the season. Let's have a look at this, Adam.
Well, saw me do move on 2 drivers at Laguna Seca, but I think this probably trumps it. Up the inside, use a little bit of the pit lane as well, gets on that inside curb, and what a great move that is.
You would have been 3 if you hadn't missed a gear as well.
I know. Yeah.
He's into the back section now. Melrose needs to try and consolidate this. and go after Pete Harrod, who's just in front of him. You see that the front four are away, by the way, now, and Hall putting real pressure onto McFarlane. It really is.
As well, the BSRTC, probably one of the most competitive leagues, if not the most competitive league on iRacing.
Sorry, it's Rushworth putting pressure on Hall. Sorry, I'm still not fully used to the timing screen. I do read that wrong a lot.
Yeah, it's Hall with the yellow strips at the front of the car, and then Rushworth with the purple ones. Alex Simpson with the very familiar Apex Racing UK livery. Then Sven Glatzel behind, as well as round to the front straight now to complete lap 4. McFarlane continues with that 0.8 of a second buffer, puts in a new personal best as well. The only other drivers to lap in the 127s as they came across the line there were Alex Simpson and Colin Cunniff.
Ash Sutton 127.9 as well. Yeah, apart from that, the only ones. These four, it's going to kick off soon, isn't it? But it's difficult to see anything happening between Rushworth and Hall. If anything, I wonder if Hall might let Rushworth through. Maybe to see if you can chase after McFarlane, because Hall doesn't seem like he's got the pace for the Scotsman.
Ross McFarlane is in search of a race victory. He hasn't won a race all season. He's been on the podium 3 times. May have added to that today, actually, since the beginning of the race meeting. But he's still in search of that first win, and at the moment, things are looking good for the Northern Lights Racing GT Omega driver as this slink of Kia Optima drivers continues to slide its way around the back section here, this Mid-Ohio circuit, and this could be an opportunity for Rushworth.
I think it's going to be it might be. Is it team orders? We'll find out, because is Hall going to? Yeah, it's team orders. It has to be. But it's correct as well. I think it's smart team orders. Rushworth. Oh, Hall! Oh. Hall's off.
And that was Alex, wasn't it? That was Alex Simpson that was involved.
Yeah, the quarter panel. I didn't. Well,
I was looking at the timing screen and then I looked back and saw that he was off. So
let's see it again then. Let's have a look. What happens? Oh,
the outside.
Oh, that's hard to tell from that angle.
But either way,
from that angle, I wonder if can we get an angle behind it. I wonder.
What this has meant is that Michael Hall is now in 29th place. Here it is on board. He's on board with Alex. Can't tell. Racing incident, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of Alex moving in towards the inside and Hall drifting out towards the racing line, I think.
I think they sort of drifted possibly into each other. We'll see what happens, though. Because, you know, we don't... It's funny, because if we say Alex is in the right, then there'll be uproar. If we say he's in the wrong, we'll have him to deal with.
We have a job.
We can't win, really, can we? No.
Bob Graham is he's been in the job with the Automech team, formerly Laser Tools, for many years now.
That's right. We just saw him in that race, didn't we? The Interlagos race, he was leading it.
It was. I'm sure he won't need any reminding at all about that safety car restart.
No, but if you paid attention, you'd see it turn into an absolute boss of a restart.
Well, my thoughts were noticed. I did say, why do we have a Mustang as a safety car? And it's been replaced by a Porsche. It's up the inside. There's Melrose. He's collided with Melrose.
Just enough room. But look at that behind. There is no room there at all. You know what? From Diogo Melrose down to 23rd place, which is Scott Malcolm, is just under 3 seconds. It's 14 cars, that.
God knows what that averages out as. Probably about 2 or 3 tenths a second per car as we go up to the top of the hill.
Look at it. And you can see some of it's less than that. And Malcolm's been turned around by Adam McNally. McNally's been turned around by Johnston. And I was about to say we haven't had a 30-car pile-up in a while. This looks like it's got potential, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, wow, Malcolm! Oh, it's Graham, sorry, trying to make it 3 wide.
Davidovich is very tense.
Oh, they're going into the corner. They are going in 3 wide. Are they going to come out alive? Yes.
Down to 2 wide now.
2.
Somehow Sven Glatzel's got into 2nd place as well. Just noticed that. He's got past Jamie Rushworth.
Oh, and here comes Rushworth having a look back. Simpson's trying to get past Cunniff. Through.
So that's Glatzel up into 2nd. The gap is 3 seconds though between him and Ross McFarlane. Look at that, he's not even in the same camera shot.
Didn't work out for CQR, did it? Didn't work out for them. It's worked out nicely for Sven Glatzel. GT Mega Racing. And NLR. It's NLR the main team, of course. Who's gaining? Ash Sutton's up to 17th. He's just taken race 2 winner George Simmons. Simmons up 12 himself. Foggy up 15. They're all in a line. 3 of the best drivers in the series, all next to each other. And Rusty Laidler.
Look at all of them here as we go up to the hill. This is Ash Sutton then in 17th, trying to get Laidler. And look at that 2 wide. That's Simmons versus Foggy. Foggy, who's out to get some points here today because of the 0 in race 2. He did have a good result in race 1, but points here. But George Simmons towing the party line and definitely making sure that Northern Lights Racing GT Omega car cannot get by.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-line whip on that one. Here we go then, into the bottom of the circuit. Foggy and Simmons once more. Simmons got the momentum on him on the outside. Oh,
very close. Here we go. Let's see which car's going to come out in front then. It's CQR it's Apex versus Northern Lights Racing here. On the outside goes Foggy, which will put him on the inside. Hopefully we don't see what happened between Michael Hall and Alex Simpson here as we go into the right-hander. Here comes Dave Baker too.
Oh, Baker does understeer into Simmons, though. Off goes Nathan Davis in the background.
Here's a bit of a throwback. Sorry, I was just going to mention a bit of a throwback Thursday thought for you. Do you remember Oven Gleam Racing from?
Yeah. Oven Gleam race. Off goes Davis again. Look at him.
Oh yeah, took a ride there. Similar to what certain British driver did in the Formula 1 at Germany a few weeks ago.
Oven Gleam Racing.
Volatile element. These are the days of 2015. As here we go on.
The volatile elephant, as someone used to say. I can't remember who that was.
Here we go up to the right hand at the end of the straight. We're looking here at Williams in the Vortex car. Oh, and he's
it's McIntyre.
Oh, and
Williams has collided with the Automatic Knockhill.
Sorry, it's Blackhall. It's now my turn to get those two mixed up.
So who's that he's collided with?
McIntyre.
Was it Malcolm or was it Wright?
It was Max Wright, yeah.
Yeah.
Just continues here. There's a 37 Apex car in there as well. That's Nathan Davis. He's got Steve Baxter, the championship leader, going into this race meeting right behind him. And look at
Williams.
Max Wright having to really defend resolutely there from Williams.
Williams is getting 5 places in this race. Kip Stevens has had an issue. Kip Stevens is dropping down the order.
He was getting muscled out the way there, that was for sure.
Oh, he's got damage as well. Through goes car 111. Stuart McFadden.
There's a Sim-Auto car that's very slow there too. That's 46, but I think they are a lap or 2 behind. Yeah, they are. It's Adam Hadfield. But here we look at Michael Blake, and here we are also looking at a side-by-side between Rob Graham and Nicole Foggy. Foggy looks like to have got the job done. And off is Hadfield again, I think.
This goes Adam Hadfield then in the Sim-Auto car. Work to be done for him.
A long way back now, over a lap down, as round the outside of Graham goes George Simmons.
Oh, McFadden and Stevens still going at it. Bang!
No!
Oh, McFadden, that's his favourite move, isn't it, really? Getting the elbows out through that middle sector. And up the inside goes Chris Wood.
And here
Team Mad. Magic Sakovic.
The first champion
of the podium earlier.
Yeah, the first champion of the club series going against the first champion of the BSRTC.
Sakovic won a BSRTC race, Adam.
Well, I can tell you whether about this season or not, which he hasn't.
No.
I don't know in his career if he has or
Max
not. Max
Wright's off, I think.
Oh.
No, wait. No, it's not right. I'm getting those two mixed up. It's Scott Malcolm. The cars are identical. Sorry about that. Mirrors are different, but I haven't worked that out yet. So here comes McIntyre on Sakovic. Still close at the front between Glatzel and Rushworth for P2.
Yeah, I think it's all about P2.
Slow down for McIntyre. Gotta be a slow down.
And how he picked that up.
Steve Baxter's crashed apparently.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but he's there. I can see him, and the car looks pristine as well. He's just behind the Automech car.
Maybe a Phantom one, but he's still down in 30th. So I wonder if he's had a spin. He might have had a spin because he wouldn't be all the way down there, surely.
There are a few.
McIntyre's off. McIntyre's dropping down the order. McIntyre, I think he's probably been disqualified on him. Sorry.
Oh, he's still there, McIntyre, I think, but I can see that Steve Baxter went off the track at some point. So you may be right in terms of him losing those places.
Well, sorry, I thought he might have been disqualified because we were looking at Baxter. He went past McIntyre, and McIntyre was nowhere to be seen. I think he was just way off to the side.
Have a line
on a spin.
Oh, that's
it's Michael Hall.
Oh, well, it was going so well. He let Rushworth through to try and chase after the leader, and it's been downhill for him ever since. And it's going to be.
It might be on the hill, on the crest. Oh, hardware failure.
Either that, or he's had enough of this.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. I don't think he'd have done that a few laps from the end, even if he had had enough. Looks like hardware to me. That. Like a hard left turn into the barrier. He's out. Now then, this is the battle for fourth position. Sorry.
So Alex Simpson and Colin Cunniff, yeah. On board with Colin Cunniff, who's been commentated on to have loads of hardware issues back in the day by Alex Simpson.
The funny thing is Cunniff's car is a mess. Simpson's car's pristine nearly, and Cunniff is the much faster man at this point.
Powers of the BSRTC, and look at the run he gets over the top of the hill. Maybe just experience, maybe the tyres on Alex's car are starting. I sound like I'm making excuses for him. The tyres are starting to go with 4 laps to go. 3 when we get to the line.
What do you mean? He told us to make these excuses for him.
Yeah, I know, we've got a list, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. We've got to get it in. We've got to get the stuff in. There's Ross McFarlane. There'll be no excuses for him though at the minute. 2.6 in front. We can't even see him in the camera shot. He's that far in front. Sven Glatzel has just gained 1 second. Yeah,
he was excuse me, 28.8. Was that a yawn? 28.8 on that last lap. 29.2 for Ross McFarlane there as we look at this battle between Sedgwick and Harrod going to the keyhole. And
fastest man on the track that time round looks like it was Wojciech Svidovic in 10th place. He's had a quiet one. We've not really noticed him.
Yeah, just 100.
Oh, here we go. Sedgwick and Pete Harrod battling over P6. They nearly took each other out through the kink.
Sedgwick.
Nice move by Sedgwick.
True, yeah. Now, what can Brown do about any of this? He's an AM driver, but these two look like they're allowing Brown to come into the scene. So too with Diogo Melro. So this could quickly become a forecast scrap if they start squabbling, especially around this part of the circuit. Position changes in the midfield. I can see Nicole Foggy was in there. There is the battle. It's McNally who's leading them round for now. Then it's Johnston. Then it's his teammate in Blake. Then it's Nicole Foggy who was just getting a bit close there for comfort. And George Simmons as well. I think Pete Newman has towed back to the pits only just because I think he's now got to the point where he can score points, and I don't think he doesn't want to do
Still needs to finish lap 13, doesn't he?
Oh, wait to be seen on that one.
I think that might be a crucial error if he has gone back to the pits. Unless he's just gone in the pits while everyone else is going past.
I'll have to wait and see on that one, I think. Penultimate lap then. Here comes George Simmons, the race 2 winner, up the inside of Michael Blake. Good job by Simortal here. They've got 2 cars inside the top 15.
Nicole Foggy's up to 14th, by the way, just in front of them as well. Craig Williams and Max Wright were having an almighty battle for 23rd place. Wright's just gone off the track though. Nathan Davis has gone past him. Still status quo at the front. Rushworth very close now to Alex Simpson.
In terms of positions gained, it's Ash Sutton who's gained the most, 25. Nicole Foggy a close second with 20. So this is all over a potential spot on the podium here and some potential podium credits that could be oh so useful when we get to the shortened showdown later in the year, which isn't actually too far away now.
It's crazy, isn't it? We get to August and yeah, it's very nearly, the regular season is very nearly over. So, yeah, it's quite surprising. Rushworth trying to hang on then, former champion. Alex Simpson, iRacing Road Pro Series champion in 2017. Didn't go that well for him in the World Championship, but you know, the car, he said he has some issues with the car really, in terms of the energy recovery system and all that, making it quite hard to drive, but they decided to have a go in the Kia Optima, and here, and he has a look, 2 or 3 different attempts. Rushworth on the inside. This is a great battle. You know what, it's funny, when Jamie Rushworth wasn't in the series, and Alex was up in the commentary box, we never thought we'd see this battle on the track, Adam.
I was just about to say, we thought we'd never see the day that he'd set foot in a Kia Optima. Now it looks like he's been in it for years. Well, he's definitely...
Is he going to have a look? No.
And for a while, you and me were the best Kia Optima drivers in the commentary box.
You know what, I hesitate to say we probably aren't anymore.
No.
In fact, I'm not hesitating at all. We're not. We're just not. Look at this. I mean, he's mixing it with the best.
Half a lap to go then. Yeah, he's against the BSR.
McNally! Something's happened to McNally. He's gone, yeah. But we've got... he's in the wall.
In the very background of the shot. I'm glad we both saw that.
Here comes Ross McFarlane at it.
Yeah, just a few corners to go then. 3 different teams are going to take victory here today. Well, I say that. Sven Glatzel won the opening race. He drives a GT Omega 2, but it's a different livery on this car. As Ross McFarlane comes through the final corner to win the final race of the day. It's going to be a 1-2 for Northern Lights Racing GT Omega, with Glatzel in second, a win and a second place today for Glatzel. Jamie Rushworth completes the podium in the end, despite having to soak up immense pressure from Alex Simpson and Colin Cunniff. And then Jack Sedgwick 6th, Pete Harris 7th, Dan Brown 8th, 9th for Diogo Melro, and 10th for Wojciech Savidovic, as everybody else is now set to come pouring over the line.
Yeah, congratulations to Ross McFarlane. Tremendous drive from pole position. Never looked back. Some of the big movers in that one. Jack Sedgwick up 10, Ash Sutton up 25, Foggy 21, Simmons 15, 10 for Williams and Davis, 13 for McIntyre and 11 for Baxter. So some very, very good performances out there. Great win for him, Ross McFarlane. That will give him a lot of good confidence going into the next couple of rounds.
Here comes Barry Morrison into the penultimate corner.
He looks like he's on a controller as well. I think he's just having a bit of fun out there, to be honest, in this last round. He's obviously in a bit of bother in terms of, oh dear, in the pits. He's had enough. Well, don't blame him either. 34th place. Not what he wanted. And I think everybody's crossed the line. But yeah, that was a good meeting. I enjoyed that. Mid-Ohio is always one of those circuits that we come to and I sometimes sort of go, I'm not too sure if I'm that excited for it, but it's always better than what you think it's going to be. Is that fair?
I'd say that, yeah, about every single racetrack we go to in this one. I was just trying to scroll through and find the updated championship calendar for you so I can tell you where we're heading to next week in the BSRTC. I'll do it in a minute, but first we've got some results to go through, and they are as follows. I'm never going to find out. Ross McFarlane wins. Second for Sven Glatzel. Then third place for Jamie Rushworth. Fourth for Alex Simpson. Fifth for Colin Cunniff. Then Jack Sedgwick finishing sixth. Seventh for Pete Harris. Eighth for Dan Brown. Ninth for Diogo Melro. And 10th for Wojciech Savidovic. 11th for Ash Sutton. 12th for Mark Johnston. 13th for Nicole Foggy. Michael Blake finishing in 14th. George Simmons 15th. Dave Baker, if he couldn't finish in 6th, he then finished in 16th instead. Rusty Laidler 17th. Then Stuart McFadden, car 111 in 18th. Kip Stevens 19th ahead of Chris Wood and Maciek Sakovic. Then Craig Williams, Nathan Davis, the Welshman. Max Wright in 24th. 25th for Jack McIntyre. Steve Baxter, the championship leader, a 0 at 26th. And a solid finish in race 1 is all that he'll be able to take away from this as we go to what is on the calendar as Okayama week. I think that's our first visit there in in years. Then
Quite
it's
some time,
then it's Jake Blackhall, the Aussie, Brian Holmes, Christian Rose, Adam McNally, Mark Woodhouse, Lee Deemer finishing in 32nd. Then Scott Malcolm, Barry Morrison, the last car on the lead lap. Pete Newman did do that strategy to perfection, really. I think get the controller to a place where he could finish and still get points, and he duly did. He finished just one lap down in the end in 36th place. Michael Hall, 37th. He was up at the top 5 for a while, finished 4 laps down. Adam Hadfield, 6th. And Will Daniels in the end finishing in 39th place.
Because of course, if you get into the pits, if your pit box is past the start-finish line or past a certain point, it will count you as another lap, won't you? Even if you don't complete the 13th lap.
Yes,
I believe that's the thing. So, but it will stand. That will be that's very, very good for Newman. Just getting some points. That's the thing. Even if it's not going to be. Even if it's not good points, that's what matters. And he beat a few drivers who, there'll be a few drivers around him in the championship where he, are going to struggle to score as many points as that today.
I was just having a quick look at the calendar. Apparently, Nürburgring GP may have been thrown out for a trip to Belle Isle.
Really? They got rid of Nürburgring. But let me guess, they're not going to get rid of Monza, no chicanes.
That is still in the showdown.
That's ridiculous.
That's now in the showdown. That is the penultimate race meeting.
You can't get rid of Nürburgring GP.
I think it's the reason why they've asked the drivers were asking for why we're still going to Okayama next week, but not Nürburgring GP. But I think it's because Okayama's free content, and they've got to make sure that they get that free content in there.
There's supposed to be so many free tracks in the schedule. That's true.
Yeah. So the calendar then is as follows for the rest of the summer: Okayama next week, Belle Isle the week after that, then Spa at the end of towards the end of August, then Monza GP. Then we have our week off, which is annoyingly the week before we head to the Sim Expo in Germany. So I think we could be in order for another Paul Smith phone up, I think. But for exactly the same track, Silverstone National. Then
getting sick of the sight of the bloody place.
Then mid-September Sonoma, then Brands Hatch GP end of September, then Bathurst, then Suzuka. Suzuka now out of the showdown. It's now the final race meeting of the regular season. And then our shortened showdown of Road America, the Glen, Interlagos, Monza, no chicane, and Daytona Road to end the season.
They won't let that go, will they? But there we go. Alex Simpson joins us in the commentary box now. Hello, mate.
Oh, hello.
How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Enjoyed tonight. It was fun racing. Some close, hard battling, as we were just talking in the waiting channel down there a moment ago.
It seemed like you had, seemed like it was a lot of fun out there, and we're saying you're very much starting to now look like you're comfortable in the car after a good half season now.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I definitely feel like I had good pace again tonight. I could battle pretty much anyone. I'm still learning like when people will throw one up the inside, and and I think when I'm in the pack, that's still a bit of a problem because I'll try and defend. And unfortunately, one of those caught my teammate out tonight. I was defending and then got knocked into Nathan. So that was one of the instances we were talking about down there. But it's hard touring car racing, isn't it?
Yeah. I think, especially around here. We mentioned that Tuesday night,
exactly.
didn't we?
It's so hard to overtake. It was no different at Snetterton. These tracks are really difficult. You've got to get your elbows out a little bit. You've got to defend hard, defend aggressive, and I think it's tit for tat. Some people will say, oh, this, and then the next week it'll be me going, oh, this is it's just the way it is in this car, and I've learned to accept that now and just sort of enjoy it for what it is.
What happened with Michael Hall? Briefly in the carousel.
Yeah, that was a strange one. I I mean, this is totally my take on it, and I may be wrong. They could probably come and sort of address it. It looked
You're
to
a driver now. You can say what you want.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to be. So it looked to me as if Hall was perhaps holding up Jamie, and I was all over Jamie, giving Jamie a bit of hassle, and it looked to me like they tried to orchestrate some kind of swap to release Jamie. And of course, I saw it come in, so I was like, "Well, I'm following Jamie. I'm going to make sure I get alongside." And of course, into the fast left kink. Hall was sort of compromised on the inside, and I knew I could switch back and try and get the outside, so I would have the inside for the final corner and turn one. I thought that was going to be the preferred line. There was not a lot of room on the inside, I will admit to that, but there was certainly a car's width like that, and unfortunately we just got locked together. You know how I think we've talked about it on the broadcast. So he was just ahead, I was just behind, and it just caught the quarter panel, and then there was just nothing we could do. I slammed the brakes on as fast as I could, and unfortunately, it was just a bit too late to stop him from coming around. So,
thing is, as you know, he would have been trying to just open up his line a tiny bit. You would have been trying to pinch him down a little bit.
Exactly.
Because of you.
I would like to.
You're aware of the one car's width.
Yeah.
You can't really get a good run out of there.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to think if it gets protested, it'll get pushed as a racing incident. But hey, who knows with the rulings? I was certainly far enough alongside to be given the room, because I think that's the ruling. So yeah,
we thought it was a racing incident. As in completely objectively thought it was a racing incident. So. But exactly, it's just one of those things when they're trying to do the swap, and obviously I saw it come in, so I pounced on it. Well, we noticed that Hall was struggling to catch McFarlane. He wasn't really doing anything in that respect, so it was the right idea to give Jamie a go at it. But then actually he ended up getting done by Sven.
Yeah. Sven was quick tonight, though. I mean, obviously he won the first race. Did he win the first race? I think it was Sven who won the first. He was very quick tonight. When he was behind me, I think they were running a lower wing than we were. We could see they were definitely out there to be a bit more aggressive, make a few more moves and things like that. And that was how I think Sven was able to get by Jamie. And in the end, when Jamie had Sven's toe, I just couldn't get enough of a run. I had one opportunity where he had a really sort of mediocre-ish mid-sector, and I was able to really close in, and I was thinking about a move, but Colin was right behind, and I thought, for the last lap, I'm gonna cock this up and smash straight into him, and I'll get myself, a load of penalty points for the team and things like that. So I decided the better course was just to make sure that I held steady, got fourth, and didn't do what I did last week, which was carry on battling until I got myself, some damage or disqualified and lost sort of 30-40 points. So, maybe I learned a little bit from last week.
Yeah, because I don't think that would be sort of particularly smart if you'd have
2 weeks in a row.
That in the last race, yeah, exactly. But I think the funny thing is, actually, I wonder if we could stay with it. We'll stay with this for a lap while we talk, because I've got to ask you about Okayama next week. So we've got to steal Adam's question and ask you about next week. But because I think we're seeing on our screen, Adam, I think it's coming up to the point where CQR tried to do the swap with Hall and Rushworth. So we might actually see the incident again on the screen.
Coming up to it.
I wonder if Sam could get us like a chase cam view.
Oh yeah, this
is this. This is definitely it. I wonder if we could get a chase cam on this, and then we might be able to let's do some amateur stewarding, shall we?
Oh,
there's a little nudge there. And then we've got it slow motion. We've got it slowed down, and Hall's on the inside. Not a lot of space, but I think he just touches the grass.
Just ever so small.
I think he touches the grass, which means that obviously the car slides. I think that's a racing incident. He's not cocked up. He's not. I don't think.
Decide on that one.
I don't think he's cocked up and hit you. I think it's just a. We've got to let the. Yeah, it's true, but we've got to look at it. I just thought because we were coming up to it, but I think that's just what it is. I think it's just an accident, and that's all it was.
Looking
But yeah,
forward to Okayama. Sorry, that was the next one.
Sorry,
I think
that-
it's going to
what's the
be much.
question?
I think it's going to be much the same as what we saw tonight in terms of overtaking stuff like that. So,
Yep.
qualifying is going to be all important and whatnot. So, but again, should be another good one. Good one.
Okay, mate. Well, thank you very much, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. Adam, who's your victim then? Who's your next victim? You've got some Scottish people to choose from.
Okay.
Probably all offended. They've probably got the pitchforks out.
Let's guess our race 3 winner in Ross McFarlane. Hello.
Hello.
Well done on the win. As from what we can tell, that was your first win of the season today.
Yeah, it was indeed. First one of the season.
And it was turned into a great race for you. You had so many quick drivers behind you, but you were able to extend the gap, and you were never really troubled throughout that race.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely trying really hard for the first part of the race just to break the toe of the CQR cars behind, but I could see that I was gaining maybe like 1 or 2 tenths every half a lap, every lap, and I was getting away, so I started to relax a little bit, and then I noticed a little crash behind. I didn't really see what happened, and then when Sven got ahead of Jamie, I knew that I could hold the win until the end.
Looking at the race meeting as a whole, things went okay in race 1. What about race 2? How did the whole race meeting go for you, as well as that win in race 3?
Race 1, pretty solid, decent qualifying, and just kind of held position as much as I could. And then race 2, probably the worst race of the season that I have actually finished. I finished with 1 incident point left with a severely broken car, but you know, when you get it to the finish line, that's what counts, and it does reward you sometimes with the reverse grid. So yeah, I'll take that.
And next week, Okayama, it is one of the free tracks that we've got here on the service, but we haven't been there in the Kia in a long time. Had much experience driving the car around there?
I don't think I've ever driven the Kia around Okayama, but I know the track, so I'm sure that it's going to be a fairly quick learning curve, and we'll do plenty of practice, and we'll be right up there again.
And on a great evening for Northern Ice Racing GT Omega with multiple wins, it's now up to you to do the shout out messages, I think.
Yeah, well done to NLR, GT Omega, and Haggis. We another good score, but I'd like to say well done to the V Racer cars in the race. You might have noticed that there's a couple of extra this season. So we had myself, Will Daniels, Nickel Foggy, and Dan Brown all running the livery, representing V Racer. The guys down at Burton, down at Exim,
Nice.
yep, and our sponsors as well, Noble Chairs. They've definitely given us a little gift or two here and there, so I really appreciate their support, and I'm glad that I'm able to bring home a win finally this season. I feel like I've been lacking, but it's all worth the effort.
I think we have got your teammate waiting to come and speak to
Let's
us
get
as well.
them all. Should we get them? Should we get him in as well?
Yeah, it's just Colin that's down there, and will you take it away with Colin Cunniff?
Hello.
Colin, welcome. It's good to have you back in the commentary box. It's been a while, I think.
Yeah, it is a long time. Yeah, babies aren't conducive to good racing, and being able to stay up late for interviews.
I don't know. We've seen plenty of babies on the Facebook group over the years. I think
You
they'd
think I'd
probably
be used to it, but you're not. You don't, it doesn't prepare you at all.
Well done today, mate. Looked like you're in the thick of it, especially in the final race. It looked like you were enjoying battling at the front.
Yeah, it's always good to battle with everybody. Yeah, we seem to be racing Alex all night, staring at that back bumper. So, to be faster seems to be scrawled across my brain.
I guess you two haven't raced each other very much before.
No, we've raced each other a few times. He's had to apologise to me a couple of times, yeah. But it was all good. I mean, there was a few bit of tapping here and there, but it's just touring car racing. And...
We can be ashamed of him on your behalf. Don't worry.
Nah, I thought you might.
We'll tell him to stop crashing into people. Don't you worry.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, well done anyway for this one. And as Ross was saying, like the team seems to be doing really, really well.
We're working together really good.
Has something changed? Yeah, has something changed this season to really like gel the team a little bit more?
We've got Stephen and Sven in, so two really quick guys. We're sort of bouncing off each other quite well. So yeah, I mean everything. The pace is really shown. We're able to work together. A lot of guys are putting in the practice. Unfortunately, I'm not able to practice as much as I would like to. Obviously, Thursdays is the only night I'm allowed out effectively at the moment because I've said baby. But yeah, it's, once as soon as I join on a Thursday, we've always got a setup ready, good to go, and we're always talking to each other through the races, so we're able to mostly avoid incidents and stuff. And even like people like Sven being able to just call them off, whereas before you would have just end up crashing into someone. You just sort of try and roping each other in and things like that, and getting good points for the team.
Nice one. Well, Ross has already done the honours and
I heard
gone over the sponsorships, so you saved on this occasion, mate. So we appreciate that. But yeah, I'm sure you will too. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week at Okayama.
Cheers, guys.
Right then, Adam. Well, just about does it for tonight, and it was good fun. It was enjoyable. Mid-Ohio, it always throws up the fun meetings, doesn't it?
Yeah, Mid-Ohio.
Sorry, I caught you. Were you just in the middle of drinking or something?
I was in the middle of a cider, I think. It was a good evening. I think the drivers today, and I think us in the commentary booth today, I think earned an alcoholic beverage or two.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look and see if I've got one. I'll have a look at that. But mate, it's always good. It's always good fun.
Yeah, we've been camped out here now for a good few days, so I think we could do a change of scenery. But we are going to be off to the Far East for Okayama next week. So the Japanese tarmac will be back out in force, and the BSRTC will continue there. And forward to seeing how the Kia will have changed, how the driving of that circuit will have changed in the 2 or 3 years that we haven't been there. So. Got a lot to look forward to when we head there next week.
Yeah, it should be really good. And once again, we thank everybody for joining us here tonight. We please like, follow, and share, subscribe, do whatever you want. All those social media-y things. Press the bell icon next to the subscription button, like I said, to get our videos first, and so you don't lose them in the big feed of subscriptions on YouTube. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. From Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo, who's done such a fantastic job on the cameras tonight. It's goodbye, and we'll see you next week in Japan.